Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakradash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom to the brothers out here laboring in this work with all truth and sincerity. So this was just a quick hit through the spirit. Basically was based on really goes out to the brothers and also the sisters who believe, and but first and foremost the brothers who embarking on this path, on this righteous path, who embarking on this truth with sincerity. This lesson was basically based upon having a spiritual response style to carnal problems, to carnal situations. When we come into this truth, you really have a spiritual bounty on your head. So you may have a lot of different negative or a lot of demons on people who constantly poking at you, constantly provoking you, trying to provoke you. So we gotta be built up in the spirit so that we don't respond to things carnally and destroy ourselves. And that comes with praying, fasting, and reading and believing, also having that faith that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to deliver you out of certain situations. So first, I just want to get a couple scriptures to back that up. The first one is Galatians 5:25. It reads, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Because at the end of the day, we are spiritual beings. We live in the spirit. We bound by this by this flesh, but we should also try our best to walk in the spirit also. And especially when we embark on this journey, we can't embark on this journey and still have quote unquote nigga tendencies. We got to put off that old man and take on situations spiritually so we can grow. Okay, instead of just sometimes we're gonna fall, but that's when we get back up and learn from the situation and be able to have a spiritual response style to the next trials and tribulations that's to come. So I'll read that again. If we live in this, Galatians 5:25, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit, because we constantly gonna be tested. When we signed up for this, we signed up for tribulation, basically, when you embark on this truth. So we have to gird up our loins and be prepared for the trials and tribulations, and be able to respond to them more so in a spiritual aspect. So we got to pray for that discernment and fast and read and watch videos and be built up in the spirit. So the next one is I got another precept here is let's get Ephesians 6:12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And not by default, we wrestle against battle against spiritual wickedness in high places. So by default, the trickle down effect of that, we wrestle against spiritual wickedness in low places too. Dealing with people, maybe family members. You might be attacked through your spouse or your girl. You might be spiritually attacked by people at work. Demons jump on all type of different people, man, when you embark in this truth, and you can see it. They don't know it, but the negative spirits they recognize your spirits and how you trying to walk in the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and you constantly getting attacked. So we have to be able to respond to things in the and not in the manner that we used to, because we put off that old man. So we responding to things like Yahweh Shai, because we want to be as much like Yahweh Shai as we possibly can if we're followers of Yahweh Shai. So, yeah, I got a couple more precepts real fast. It's I got Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 2 reads, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Yeah, because that's really the battle right there. Endure. He that endure to the end shall be saved. So we constantly have to endure. And that definition for endure is to undergo, especially without giving in. Yes, we can't give in, even though we're constantly getting trials and tribulations. We can't throw in a towel. We almost we almost at the end of this, so we can't throw in a towel now. We got to constantly endure. So we have to be built up in the spirit, put off more carnally, and be built up spiritually, man, because it is not time to get weak. We got to have spiritual endurance, and that's day by day. We have to build that up. It said Ecclesiasticus 2:2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Yeah, because we're going to have troubling times. So we can't make not haste. We got to constantly endure. Yes, and believe that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to get us out of certain situations, because that's the whole thing. We have to have faith in him. Without that, what's the purpose? We have to have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that he's going to deliver us from certain situations, of certain temptations also, because we'll be tempted within the flesh. We got to be built up in the spirit. I got another precept here, is Ecclesiasticus. We're going to go to 2:10. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or when did he ever despise that called upon him? Yeah, so even in the days of old, that's why it's good to, everything was written before time was written for our learning. Even in the days of old, he was, the people who called upon the Lord was never forsaken. Our forefathers were never forsaken. He never despised anyone who called upon him. So that's what we have to do, and have that faith. He gonna deliver us, man. It's not time to get weak. We have to stay strong. Yep, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? No. And that's a rhetorical question. I got one more. So yeah, that's what basically, I got one more and I'm gonna close up. Basically, that was just on my spirit, just for the brothers that's walking in this truth, and you know, battling things day to day, that we have to have we need to start having a spiritual response style to certain situations, because some people make you want to take them, send them to the spiritual world, delete them. But you know, we can't respond carnally, because we'll have ourselves in a even worse situation than what we already in. So we gotta pray, have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that he's gonna deliver us out of certain tribulations that we may have day to day. And instead of taking it upon our own hands or leaning to our own understanding of how to handle things, or not having faith and not being able to handle things the way that we should. Just like Saul, when Saul was he was faithless and ended up being dethroned. He ended up losing his position as king because he was faithless, and he began to take matters into his own hands instead of trusting on the Lord. So I got one more, and I'm close up. It's 2 Timothy 3:11, and this was Paul speaking, by the way. It says, persecutions, affliction, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, and Salakia, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Lystra. What this is the point right here, though. What persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yes, out of all, throughout those different cities that he came across, he was in a lot of persecutions, but out of all of them the Lord delivered him. So that's the type of spirit we have to be in. We have to be built up in. We know the things that the Lord delivered us out of in the past, and that should be faith boosters. Even some situations, when we wasn't in this truth, and we knew, now that we think back, we knew that it had to be the Lord that delivered us out of certain situations. And those are just all faith boosters, man. So that's what the goal is, to build ourselves up spiritually, so we can have a spiritual response style to carnal situations, man, so that we can endure to the end. So that was just a lesson in the spirit I wanted to share. Peace and blessings to you, brothers. Until the next time, Lord willing, shalom.